Good afternoon, I'm Riza Diaz. This is One News Now. Again, we'd like to remind you that if you're flying out of Manila, please check with your airlines if your flights are confirmed, as well as the documents that you need to present to the authorities at the airport. So let's check out the latest situation on the ground with Greg Gregorio. He's joining us live from the NAIA Terminal 3. Greg, is it true that some passengers were not allowed to board the aircraft? Can you tell us more about this?
Yes, Risa, some passengers of Cebu Pacific flights bound for Cebu this morning were not allowed to board the aircraft because they lack travel authority. Christine Paragosa says she and her husband traveled to Manila back in March after their wedding, but they were stranded when the government placed the entire Luzon under quarantine. While her husband opted to stay here, she was supposed to fly out of the capital this morning. Unfortunately, she was barred at the boarding gate because she doesn't have the travel authority allowing her to fly to Cebu. The document is just one of the requirements that airlines look for domestic travelers. She and her husband were left with no choice but to go home and secure a travel pass and try to rebook for another flight this afternoon. Meanwhile, Rayo Tayag has been trying to fly to Bacolod since May 1 to go back to his family and his work. He was able to secure all the needed documents. However, his original flight was cancelled as well as succeeding flights he rebooked. Yesterday, he grabbed CebPac's offer to take a flight bound for Cebu instead, which was scheduled early this morning. Well, the flight went ahead without Rayo. He also failed to present a travel authority to leave for Cebu. Here are the concerns of Christine and Rayo.
May rapid test result na ako na negative. Yung barangay clearance galing sa place kung saan ako stranded. Tapos may letter of acceptance from the barangay kung saan ako, or city saan ako tatanggapin. Opo. At may na din ako confirmation na confirmation ng barangay na pupuntahan ko. So kompleto na ako doon, but na-surprise ako na meron pa palang isa na kulang.
Ngayon po, pagdating ko dito, ang sinabi po sa akin, may bago na naman daw po silang procedure. Pero kahapon po, wala po silang sinabing ganyan sa rebooking ko. Na upon arrival daw po, kailangan meron akong travel authority na manggagaling sa Cebu.
If we remember, the government requires travel authority when one moves from a city or a province to another during this community quarantine implementation amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Only those exempted are employees going back to work and the ones included in the IATF's list of authorized person outside residence or APOR. And local government units are also allowed to implement certain restrictions on accepting persons coming into their locality. With this, Cebu Pacific spokesperson Charo Logarta explained that seeking for the necessary documents from their passengers is only in accordance to the protocols provided by the LGUs and the national government.
Unfortunately, not all destinations of Cebu Pacific, not all routes are allowing flights. Like halimbawa sa Bacolod, halimbawa sa Cebu or other places, meron pa po tayong LGU restriction on allowing flights to come in. Yung pag-determine kung eligible ka to fly or allowed ka to fly from point A to point B is the responsibility of the passenger. Ang airline po, carrier lang po. Kumbaga, ang airline will fly you there. Pero yung kung papayagan kayo o hindi na lumipad at pumasok sa isang lugar, that is up to the passenger.
Risa, Cebu Pacific also announced yesterday evening the cancellation of flights bound for General Santos City today. They explained that the situation is still fluid and changes are to be expected from time to time. Rebooking for the earliest flights are possible but subject to seat availability. Refunding, on the other hand, is available as well, but it would take time as there's a long queue while offices are still at a limited operation. Riza?
Thank you. That was Greg Gregorio reporting to us live from the NAIA. Meanwhile, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. President Duterte appoints Dr. Leopoldo Vega as Health Undersecretary. Vega is the chief of Davao-based Southern Philippines Medical Center. Now, the chief executive earlier expressed dismay over the delay in the payout of the compensation for fallen health workers. The Philippine stock market fell the most in Asia on Friday, closing 0.8% to end the week. The blue chip index dropped as much as 3.3% intraday, with the jobless rate jumping to a record 17.7%. Lawmakers also failed to pass the Bayanihan II Act, which would have replaced the current law that governs the state's response to the coronavirus crisis. And it's official. Former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden is battling current President Donald Trump for America's top post in the 2020 elections. Biden became the Democrats' presumptive nominee after 2 months ago when Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, his last opponent in the primary, threw in the towel and dropped out of the race. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.